What's up guys, we are back with another climbing video. Today we are in Plat 2 and we're slowly making our way up to Diamond. I got placed top, but mid was nice enough to give me mid, and so right now I am up against an Ari. This game I chose to go electrocute and precision, just your standard electrocute page. I feel like against Ari all you really need to do is avoid her skill shots and you'll be okay. So you're able to go offensive runes. Also went Doron Shield here. I've just been really liking Doron Shield. It's actually a really nice item just for your sustain, for controlling lane, and it still does damage if you have electrocute. So we start off in our jungle. They have a Blitzcrank. Maybe they'll invade. We have wards set up around to see if we can spot them as they're walking in. And oh, what do you know? Blitzcrank is trying to invade with this team. So we're all just gonna, huddle around this bush. Kindred walks in. And we just start beating her up, and then the rest of their team comes in. We're gonna start beating them up too. Honestly, I was a little lost here. There's just so much going on. I'm just throwing Qs and autos, but what matters is that we were able to get 3 assists here, and now we have 160 gold, which is really nice. So the wave pushes into me here, and right now I'm trying to look for something level 3. So once I hit level 3, I go in. Going for a trade. Get a nice little trade off and back off. So here I get pushed in and I'm looking at my EXP bar to hit level 3 and I'm preparing myself for it. So here, as soon as I hit level 3, I see Ari walking up, and so I'm gonna go for an EW. I do a slight movement downward to see if I can dodge the instant charm, but she actually holds it, which was good on her. And she actually ends up charming me, but it's completely okay. Doesn't do too much damage. The main thing I have to watch out for is their Q. Now here, I throw out the Q, and her Q is returning to her. And what I have to be careful of is the return true damage. And so what I'm gonna do is time it so that I can jump over her and not get hit by the return Q from Ari. And it actually made a pretty big difference in the trade. Here I Shumpo to a minion to make sure that I don't get autoed on the way out. Now I see Kindred invading my Lee Sin, and so I go around to help and hover. Make sure that he's safe. I kind of stick around him here so he doesn't get engaged on. And then I see Kindred jump over. I'm like, okay, maybe I can go for something here, but I sadly end up dying. Luckily with the damage that I did to Kindred, they were actually able to kill her. Now this kind of goes on for a bit. I respawn, get my Dark Seal, get a refill potion. I come back. Zilean hits a nice double bomb. Lee Sin picks up a kill. Now Jax is chasing the Zilean. I W, make sure I hit Jax. And so we actually came out with the kill and double buffs. So after that, we just shove in the wave. And we're just going to look for the recall here. We can get another Amp Tome. As long as the wave crashes in and Ari's not in lane, we're okay to back here and just be a little bit stronger and use our gold. So here I'm walking back into lane, but Lee Sin actually spots the Kindred coming into our jungle. So immediately I'm gonna go and try to help him out. Lee Sin's pretty low, Kindred jumps over, and I actually mess up the Shumpo here. Maybe I could have saved Lee Sin if I was able to jump in and kill the Kindred earlier. But here I had to find a way out, and so simple wall jump. And then, Blitzcrank comes out of nowhere and does that. So I want to highlight the wall jump here. So we kill the Kindred. And now I'm getting collapsed by the Jax and the Ari. And so at this point, I thought maybe I can throw the Q so that it lands here, so that I'd be closer to the Zilean. But what ended up happening was that Jax actually Q'd onto me. And when I threw the Q, it actually ended up inside the Baron pit. So I had to improvise a little bit. Had to dodge away from the Jax stun to make sure that I don't get charmed. So I E out, and then here I start to hug the wall. I still have 2 seconds on my Shumpo, so I have to wait a little bit. Once Shumpo came up, I WE over. And the way you do this is by setting up a dagger very close to the wall. And all you really need to do is jump on the very edge with your Shumpo. And what will end up happening is that it actually pushes you over the wall. And so I was able to get out scot-free. And then Detective Blitz shows up on the case, decides to go in for the flash, and if you see immediately, the moment I saw Blitz, I actually started clicking away. And he actually ended up missing the hook. So that's really good for us. Very good sequence overall. Now I come back into lane and I actually hold the wave here as it's pushing into me to make sure Ahri has to walk up for farm, and because I'm strong, I'm able to potentially punish her positioning. So I go in, but Blitzcrank, again, shows up. Actually misses the hook. So nothing happened of it, but we stayed alive. So here's a little pro tip, guys. Here, Blitzcrank had the hunch that I would jump back to the minions. And so he actually cues towards the minions that I could potentially be jumping on. I'm just trying to let you know that people know. People know when you're in a position where you might have to jump back to a minion. So maybe you want to stagger a little bit before you actually jump back, just to avoid it entirely. Be careful. Consider this a warning. So here, after that, as soon as the wave meets in the middle, I'm just going to hard shove this and give myself a bit of a roam timer. She has a really big wave under her tower, and so it's going to take some time to actually clear and be able to move. At this time, bot lane gets ganked, and I'm ready to go down. So I'm going to help them out here. Jinx is trying to kite. First target will be Kindred. So I W, E, Q, ult. Now E onto the dagger. Xayah still had R. I Q, E, E out. Sadly, I still die. So she actually gets a shutdown here, which kind of sucks, but not a bad roam. Ahri wasn't there, couldn't do anything. I think if I played it just a little bit mechanically better, I would have been able to live. So we get back into lane and we see Kindred and Blitz roaming top. And with this, we're gonna go take dragon here. So Lee Sin and Milo go get the dragon. As soon as the wave comes in, I'm just looking to shove it. And we're not too sure what Ahri's positioning is. But if you see on the map, if we're getting dragged, they might be getting ripped. So I'm gonna prepare myself for this. Push in the wave, Ahri's stuck under tower. Lee Sin, Milo, and me are gonna go check the Rift Herald. We spot the Blitz here. We don't know where Kindred is, but we spot the Blitz. Pick up the free kill, and then we're gonna get the Rift ourselves. Now we get the Rift and we come back into mid lane. Lee Sin wants to come through. I'm gonna try to bait Ahri to fight here. Goes for the kick flash. We get the kill. So we drop the Rift here, and we're just gonna get some nice gold. We see Kindred up in the top side as well. We just want the Rift to crash, get our gold, and just back, because we can get our Nashor's Tooth here. So we go back and get our Nash, which is a huge power spike for us. And currently, Zilean's actually getting ganked by the Kindred, and he ends up dying. And so I'm looking at that, and I'm keeping that in mind. Now I come back into the wave, I push it in, clear it real quick, and I'm immediately gonna move myself top. Bot lane looks like nothing's really happening, and so with this downtime that I have, I'm gonna move top to see if I can do anything. Zilean ends up TPing here, and we see the Blitz and the Kindred collapsing. Gets a really nice double bomb, then we go in for the cleanup. Xayah is here as well, for some reason. Gives up, and we get the kill. We get 3 kills. Now here's one tip you can do. And so Zilean gets collapsed on, and here, Jax flashes out, and he's gonna die to the tower shot anyway. But I use him to jump twice. Now watch. You can get the reset and E twice. E, E, onto the Blitz. And then Xayah gives up, gives me the kill, that's completely fine. But you can use your resets like that if you know you're gonna get the reset and immediately jump in and use your abilities on the next person. Now, I come back into lane, just clear the minions here, and I actually see a fight bottom, and Lee Sin's also collapsing. So I make my way down, Milo dies, and they're really low. And I thought maybe if Kindred had R, I might need to help the Lee, but he actually just kicks her in the face and we're good. So I go back into mid lane and I see the Jax. And so, I know I'm stronger than this guy. I have Nash. So I'm looking to fight. We pick up a free kill. Now here on our next back, we have 2300 gold. Seems like a perfect time to go Mejai's. The holy AP Bible. Now here, we went bottom to side lane. And side laning bottom here is good because dragon's up at the same time. So it puts us in position for us to get the dragon. So we're getting the dragon and the enemy team might be huddling around here. Right now we see Kindred. So I set up a Q. She tries to steal it, but Lee Sin secures the dragon. And we end up picking up the kill on Kindred as well. And we got our ult. So here I want to highlight a pretty useful dagger placement. And so right now, we know Kindred is off to the left. So what we can do here is actually throw a Q and set it up around this area. So that if Kindred tries to go in and take it, we're able to jump in on the dagger. Not only can it punish people going in to try to steal it, it can also zone people out as well. So this is just a useful dagger placement when taking objectives. So we set up the Q here, and Kindred Qs in, and we're able to actually go in and engage on her. And she dies. Now we see Xayah pushing the side lane, so I go back just to pick up the kill on her. EWQ, E ult. We're really strong. And now we have 20 stacks on our Mejai's, and it's only gonna go up from here. So I kept pushing the side lane, and we ended up getting the tower up top. And I also picked up a couple waves as well. So we're in a pretty good spot. Good amount of money, got a bit of EXP. So now I recalled, and I'm coming back into the mid lane with a proto belt and a stopwatch. We see a fight happening, so I'm gonna immediately go there and try to help out my team. Kindred's overextended, we're gonna jump in on her first with proto. We know she doesn't have R, and I wanna keep fighting. And so, boom! 25 stacks of Mejai's. Now here, I wanna highlight dagger placement. So using your Q is very important for you to pick up more kills, right? And so here, EWQ. Notice how my Q dagger lands right here. And so what happens is that if I jump in and get that dagger, I'll actually be closer to the other people here. E, Shunpo onto the blitz. Now, we see everyone gathered around here. And we want the Q dagger to land right in the middle of them. So how do we do that? So it's all about positioning yourself before you throw the Q. And so right before I throw this Q onto blitz, if I throw the Q now, it's gonna land probably around here. But if I'm positioned myself a little bit this way and I throw the Q, it would actually land here. And so watch this slight movement. And now I position myself perfectly so that if I were to throw the Q, it would actually land here. Then I go in with the E ult. Just burst down everyone. After we won that mid fight, we're gonna go in, push in while all of them are dead. Use the AP that we have and the Rift Herald to just push into the inhib. Blitz missing another hook. Another day for this guy. And then here, I actually get a little bit greedy. Let me show you. I go in, Blitz tries to knock me up, I jump away. Then here I see Kindred going in, and so I go in for the ult. Everyone jumps in on me, Kindred ult. I get knocked up, and I die. There goes my Mejai stacks. So now we respawned, we have Razanya's, and we're looking to stack our Mejai's again. Right now we're at 19 stacks, and I'm not having it. And so I'm gonna go in, portal, get this red buff real quick, and I sweeped around to see if there was any wards. So we see Zilean pushing bottom right now, and so maybe they might walk in. We see Lee Sin here as well. We see everyone on the map. And so we're gonna position ourselves here to see if they walk in. See the blitz around. Get hit by the Xayah stuff. But once I saw blitz, I'm just ready to go in at this point. We're all really strong. We have all 5 of us here. Really good position for us to make a pick and end the game. So I know that all happened pretty fast. I'm gonna try to slow it down and show you guys the combos. So we're waiting, and then boom, we see the blitz. So what we do, EW, Q. Now we have the Q set up on the Kindred. E, Q, And I know that if I just jump in on this dagger and ult, Kindred will die. So I know I'm gonna get the reset. So here I place an extra dagger by using WE. And I ult. So you see the dagger is placed behind me. And if you know you're gonna get the reset, you might as well set an extra dagger if you can. We kill the Kindred, eat WQ, Xayah ends up ulting. And what I do is actually jump back to the W dagger that I placed. This allowed me to get into range of Jax. Porta belt, eat W, and I do a slightly slow Q. Because it looked like, from his positioning right now, when someone is facing this way towards the wall, there's a good chance they might try to get over this wall. And so just using your Q just a little bit slowly will help the dagger land over the wall and follow them. I follow up, kill the Jax. And from here on, we end the game. Blitz missing another hook, just gotta let him know that he's never gonna hit me. And we come out with the victory.